Hello and welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Dialogues podcast as we head into the Upside Down to talk about Stranger Things Season 1.
Yay!
I am your host, Rosh.
And I'm your host, Nam.
And here we are revisiting Hawkins, Indiana.
Yep. So we are starting with Season 1 of Stranger Things. We're getting into it. We're preparing for the finale.
The final season of the Netflix series.
Which is Season 5.
Right? Yes.
So we're finally getting ready for it. Mm-hmm. We are pacing ourselves. Because, okay, so what are the release? Because it's a staggered release. Obviously,
yes.
The whole season's not coming out at the same time.
So Season 5, Volume 1 is dropping on Netflix November 26th. Which I believe is Thanksgiving in America.
Mm-hmm.
We are not in America. We are in Australia.
Yes.
So it's just a regular Thursday for us.
Yep.
And then Volume 2 is December 25th, Christmas Day.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
It's a Christmas present.
It's going to be a Christmas present. Well, let's hope so. And it's not depressing.
It better be a Christmas miracle.
Better be a Christmas miracle. And we'll get into it as to what miracles we want in the season.
Yep.
And then the finale is isolated and will be dropping on New Year's Eve. So they are very determined to decide for us whether we are going into the new year
2026
either happy or angry.
Yes, or depressed. Depending on what happens. One good thing about having that on New Year's Eve is that we don't have to make New Year's Eve plans.
We don't have to make New Year's Eve plans. And if people try to make New Year's Eve plans with us, we'll say, well, we have been waiting for this for 9 years. 5 seasons in 9 years.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
And, well, that's just too bad. You have to do it without us.
So we are jumping straight into Season 1. So we're going to do a bit of a retrospective of Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. Not today. So this episode is purely Season 1.
Yeah.
We'll do 2, 3, 4 separately.
And then we get closer to November.
Yeah. And then, of course, we're going to talk about Season 5 when it starts, essentially. Yes. So starting off, we've got Stranger Things. It came out, what year did it come in?
2016.
Into our lives. 2016.
July 2016.
I feel like 2016 feels like a very pivotal year. Just in general.
Yeah, there's a lot that happened. I mean, Netflix was in its heyday, really.
Yeah.
Because the year before that was, I think Narcos had started. Yeah. And I think maybe even the year before that was Orange is the New Black.
And then the year before that was House of Cards.
And then the year before that was House of Cards. So House of Cards and Orange is the New Black were very much like the front runners of Netflix. Like they ruled Netflix. And then this kind of came in and took everybody with surprise. And Narcos was under the radar, as it still is. But anyway, that's another episode for another time. But yeah, Stranger Things kind of took everybody a lot by surprise. I think a lot of people didn't know what it was even when the trailer dropped. Everyone was just like, what is this show going to be? It seems very like sci-fi, but also like very like horror and like what's happening. And then that year in September at the Emmys, it really just became
I remember watching the trailer for Stranger Things and it looked very interesting. But I was totally confused. I was like, I have no clue what this show is about. And I was like, I am not investing my time in this until I know that it's good. So I did not watch it when it first came out. But then you watched it and you were like, it is amazing. And so then I watched it and I was like, this is the best thing I've seen in a very, very long time.
And like, you know, for anybody who knows me, they know that I love a TV show called Supernatural. And
really, I had not heard that.
Yeah, guys, there's this TV show called Supernatural, which I'm obsessed with. I have been since 2005. And it, you know, that is very much like in themes of like urban legends and horror and a little bit of sci-fi thrown in there. And and so when this came into being, I was like, oh, okay, this looks interesting. It seems different for Netflix.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going to happen, because up until that point, we've been watching House of Cards. And,
I watched Orange is the New Black, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into House of Cards. By the time I started to think about getting into House of Cards, I think the last season had dropped by then, and everyone's like, well, it's kind of gone down.
And the whole spacey thing had happened by then, and it was kind of like...
so I wasn't that interested. But I remember watching Orange is the New Black and really enjoying that. And then this was announced, and I was like, look, I think this was like... Netflix, I think, was very interesting, because Netflix was one of the first streaming services that produced their own original content. Yeah. With House of Cards, obviously, and then Orange is the New Black. So I think Stranger Things benefited from that, obviously. I think just genre-wise, it was a different genre, because so far they had been doing more drama-filled stuff. And this was completely different. So the audience that they were looking for was also completely different. And then, of course, later on they have things like Black Mirror and all of that sort of stuff. So I think this was a really nice like testing ground for a different genre. Essentially.
Then I don't think there was a particular like reason as to why I was like, oh, I mean, not other than the fact that, it was a genre that I have always loved. But I can't say that anyone was told me that, oh, it's so good and oh, it's, so great, you need to watch it. I think I pretty much watched it when it dropped. And I was just like, from the first episode, I was like, oh, what is this? This is going to be so good. Because it just hooks you straight away, like with Will vanish, like not even like even before that, when Will vanishes and you see the kids like sitting around and playing Dungeons and Dragons. Even just from that, it's so compelling, because it's just like these little kids. Like, they're so cute, and even before that, with the whole thing in the lab, you're like, what is this? But yes, I mean, we should talk about like what this show is and the setup and everything. So basically it is set in the 80s. It starts in 1984, I'm pretty sure. The year before you were born. Actually, in season 3, it's July 4th, 1985, which is the day you were born.
My birthday.
Is also the day that Billy dies. So anyway.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So that's not cool. But anyway, so yes, this is a show that is set in the 80s. In a small town, which is, I guess, a fictional town. I don't think it's real. Called Hawkins, Indiana. And it is a place where you think everything's normal.
Just a normal small town.
Your normal small town, but we soon find out that there is a government conspiracy.
Like a CIA lab.
A CIA lab happening with these monsters that have come from another world, and a missing child. Don't know what this child can do, but this child has special powers. And that is all related, and she finds her way to our main group of 4 kids: Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will. But Will goes missing.
Yes.
The same night. So what does this all mean? What is happening? We don't know. And the drama starts to unfold.
And so I think it's important to kind of also talk a little bit about the cast, because we have and this was the thing that really made me want to watch it. It wasn't even the storyline so much. It was the fact that Winona Ryder.
This was the pull,
Yes.
For
Winona Ryder,
me included,
is the pull in season 1.
And they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing when they cast her. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, so she plays Joyce Byers, who is Will's mother. And Will and Jonathan's mother.
Yeah.
And we also have David Harbour, who is the town sheriff. Police chief
Jim Hopper.
Police chief Jim Hopper. Now, I had only seen David Harbour probably in Law and Order.
Everybody's been in Law and Order.
In Law and Order. So, like, I had not seen him in a lot of other things.
I'd never seen him in anything before this.
And now he's, like, a bit of a fixture in a lot of things. Like, now he's in Thunderbolts, and he was in,
he's in the MCU.
He's in the MCU, so he's quite a familiar face now. Yeah. But this is kind of the big introduction that he has to everybody. And
what a character.
What a character. We'll get into characters. We'll get into character a bit later.
And our favorites as well,
Yeah, but these two are like your main ones. But for me, Winona Ryder was the draw. Yeah. You know, because Winona Ryder is, you know, from the 80s and the 90s.
Growing up with
she
her.
Was the sweetheart. Everyone loved her. Some of my favorite movies are Winona Ryder movies.
Literally.
Reality Bites is one of my favorite movies. What's the other one? Mermaids.
Heather's is I love
Heather's is yours. Much. Mermaids is one of my favorites.
Mermaids too, yeah.
She's been in so many things, and I just absolutely adored
Beetlejuice.
her.
Hello.
Beetlejuice, exactly. Yeah. And so when her name was attached to this, and it's set in the 80s, like who better to fit that role?
To represent someone from that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's just kind of perfect for that role. And she was a bit surprising, I feel, because I'd never seen her play a mother.
Yeah, because she hadn't at that point. She was never old enough to. And
and even a role, like a kind of a maternal role. She's always like a teenager or a young woman, or, you know. So it was nice to see her play something like this. Yeah. But yeah, definitely, she was the draw card.
Yeah. And just, you know, as the story goes along, like her determination to find her son that's missing. She has no idea how. And then just her and Hopper having like of this very obvious history, being from the same town and being very close. Yeah. And just their absolute resilience to keep on keeping on, to like find Will and find where he is. No, it's brilliant. They're so good in it as the adults.
They are. They're absolutely excellent.
Yeah, so they are kind of our main representatives as the adults, and then we have like the kids group and we have the teenagers group, which was like a very like interesting dynamic for them to do, of have like these three groups that are the main focus of the show, and like to have them as being like A, B, C storylines. Yeah. And no, it was very, the way they just interconnected everything throughout the season, because, you know, the kids are very much also trying to find Will, but in their own way, with their little Dungeons and Dragons references and, you know, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, because apparently there's a distinction according to Dustin, which, I mean, I agree with Dustin, but not to Lucas. He's like, it doesn't matter.
It's the same world.
But, you know, and just bringing up those 80s references of, you know, things that they have grown up with and things that we now know. And, it's just the nostalgia of it all. I didn't even grow up in the 80s, but I'm still like, this is so, I just love this.
I think what is interesting about the setup of the show is that, as you said, you know, there's three distinct groups that we're following. We've got the kids, the young kids, we've got the teenagers, and we've got the adults. Yeah. And each of these groups kind of forms separately, and then they are the basis of what the groups will remain in the following seasons. Yeah.
And they interchange and they become different, and you know,
they split off, the teen group together.
Kind of changes the most in the latest seasons. But ultimately, you know, that dynamic is still there. And I
think what I really like about the dynamics in the groups is they actually represent real life dynamics of these groups. Yeah. Because if you look at children, they are the ones with the imagination. They are the ones that will believe that these monsters exist and, you know, that their friend has possibly been taken into the upside down and all of this stuff. Yeah. The teenagers are a bit more skeptical, but only when they see something suspicious, they really start getting a little bit, you know,
more involved.
And they're, you know, slightly brash in what they do, and they're a bit braver. Yeah. And the adults are kind of the level-headed people, you know,
level-headed, most skeptical.
More skeptical, definitely.
But also level-headed and thinking, okay, this can't all just be this imaginary world that these kids are making.
Something has to give.
There is a real life reason for why all of this is happening. So, of course,
and they're the ones that find that serious stuff.
So
I really, I really like that dynamic that's been set up by season 1. I think that really works well because we see that in the other seasons as well. Especially, I think it remains constant with the kids and the adults. The teen group, as you said, it changes.
It changes around a lot.
It keeps changing.
And a lot of the kids become like part of the teen group, like Dustin and Steven. And
exactly.
We will talk more about Dustin and Steven and their incredible relationship in season 2 and moving forward in 3 and 4. But that's... Yeah.
I think let's do a brief... So essentially what the storyline setup is, the narrative. We have, as we mentioned, it's Hawkins, Indiana. We have a CIA facility. We have an escaped test subject, I guess she is.
A child,
a child, 11.
Played by Millie Bobby Brown.
Yes. Who is now John Bon Jovi's daughter-in-law. That's kind of a very cool flex.
And has a child. And
I know.
What? It was someone, I just quick segue because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But someone was literally talking about in the time that we have had from season 4 to season 5, the amount of things that have happened. Millie Bobby Brown has gotten married and adopted a child. Joe has become an incredibly successful band.
Musically, yes.
Finn Wolfhard has directed a movie.
What?
David Harbour has become a part of the MCU.
Right?
Like, all of these
things have happened.
And we still don't have season 5 yet.
Exactly. It's incredible, actually, if you think about it.
The way this person put that tweet together was absolutely hilarious, and I wish I could remember you, but shout out anyway.
That's funny. But yeah, it's really interesting. And then of course we've got the we've got characters essentially. I think that the good thing about this show is it's very character driven.
It's very character driven,
even though it has this supernatural, paranormal sort of sci-fi, science fiction really based to the narrative. So essentially we have escaped Millie Bobby Brown
11
who finds these a group of young boys
they find her really in the woods.
Yes, they find her, and it's just this fantasy land that these boys live in. They play Dungeons and Dragons, and which is very cool. I actually really want to get into Dungeons and Dragons. There's a lot of people at my work who play Dungeons and Dragons, but they're already in like established groups. I'm getting beside the point. But yeah, you've got these kids, and then you've got Will who disappears. And Joyce, his mother, is convinced that something is not right. Hopper doesn't believe her initially. That what is that line he says? What's the worst that's happened?
Can I say it?
Yes.
Joyce, you want to know the worst thing that has happened in this town since I've become chief? You know the very worst thing is when an owl attacked Eleanor Gillespie's head because it thought it was a nest. That line gets me every single time, and we will talk about more about old courts and stuff. Later, so funny.
Hawkins is such a small town that nothing really bad happens. But then Will goes missing, and Joyce's maternal instinct is like, no, something's not right. And that's basically the whole show. And then throughout, we get, different things that are popping up, secrets that are being revealed about this small town that are very sinister. And we get background information on other members of the groups. Especially Hopper. We really get to know Hopper as a character. We get to know Joyce as a character. We get to know more about Elle, even though she is a bit more mysterious than the others.
And she continues to be even till the end. But there is the people from the lab are trying to find her to bring her back. And of course, the main player is Dr. Brenner. Dr. Brenner, played by
Matthew Modine.
Oh yes, another icon.
I had such a crush on Matthew Modine.
I mean,
growing up in the 90s, I remember, oh man, he had the flippiest hair. He still has really great hair.
Really great
His hair is white as snow.
He is such a cool old man.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
He was in this movie with Gina Davis. I don't remember the name of the movie, but they were pirates.
You need to remember it because we need to watch it.
They were pirates.
Yeah.
oh my goodness, I had such a crush on him in that movie. I loved him.
That's really cute. So yes, he is the one who's trying to find her and bring her back. And you know, he has a very strange attachment to her. Thinks she's special in a very
experimental
kind of way. Yeah, the whole thing is very. It still doesn't make sense till the end of season 1, and I think we kind of get more of it. Not in season 2 because he's not really there, but more in season 3 and 4. So yes, it's a very interesting dynamic between them as well.
Yeah,
and yes.
I think when it comes to, let's talk about characters. Yeah. Right. So we get introduced to our first group of characters who are the boys.
Yeah.
We get Will, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas.
Yeah.
And they are best friends. They are nerds. They are outcasts. They get bullied at school.
Yeah.
But they just have the best friendship ever.
They are the cutest.
And they all meet at Mike's house in his basement, and they play Dungeons and Dragons and things. And so it's them, and they are the ones that encounter Elle first. But I think it's important to kind of go back and look at Elle.
Yeah.
So when we first meet Elle, she is she goes to
Benny's diner.
Yeah, she goes to this diner.
Yeah.
And she's looking for food, essentially. Yeah. She's wearing a hospital gown, and
head is shaved.
Shaved, and she looks strange, really. Yeah. And Benny as well is kind of like, who is this kid, right? And you don't think, like, you kind of are like, okay, you're intrigued, but you're like, okay, there's going to be some explanation.
Yeah.
And Benny, calls up the
child services,
and he says, well, there's this girl.
Yeah.
And that's when the mystery starts, because when the lady claiming that she's child services comes and she kills Benny, you're like, okay, what is going on here?
And Elle runs off.
Yeah. What is going on here? Something really sinister is happening.
Yeah.
And that's when the ball sort of starts rolling.
Yeah. The first episode ends with them finding Elle in the woods. Like, that is basically what starts everything. But the real hook is that in episode 2 is that, you know, all doesn't seem as it is because they hear Will's voice.
Yes.
And like there's like on the phone.
Yeah.
And, you know, the lights are flickering and like all this stuff is happening. So where is all of this coming from?
Yeah.
That's the real hook in episode 2. Yeah. And then we go like straight through with like, you know, Joyce talking to the lights and like then putting them all up on the walls and with the ABC, all that stuff. Which is, you know, ingrained iconography into all of our heads. It has become like meme central.
Wasn't there like an SNL skit? No,
probably.
Yeah, there was something I remember.
Yeah, there was probably an SNL, or maybe it was in the Emmys. But you know, it's become so synonymous and iconic from the show that, like, you know, it's just one of those very early moments in the show which everyone remembers, and everyone, like, I've not met a single person who was like, oh, that bit was so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, everyone loves that. So that's where the real intrigue starts. And, like, you go through the motions with, you know, Joyce having, like, a breakdown and, like, you know, but then also being really supported by Hopper when Hopper also discovers something's not right. Really weird is happening here. Like when he discovers the body and the body not being real of Will, like, because, you know, they think he's dead, but he's not, because it's not a real body.
Well, they start questioning. So Joyce makes that noise that where is he? And then of course, you know, Will's body pops up. Yeah. And that was in what season? Episode 3? Episode
3, 4, something like that.
And it's basically they do that to shut her up.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And it's these lab people doing it. Hopper's the one that gets really suspicious that something's not right. And that's when we start getting a bit of backstory on Hopper.
Yeah.
And his backstory is really tragic.
Yeah.
Because when we see Hopper, when we're introduced to Hopper, he's this hard drinking, chain smoking, very
possibly
deadbeat.
doing drugs.
Yeah, possibly. Most likely doing drugs.
I mean, we never see hard drugs anywhere, but
very
it's
deadbeat kind of police chief who just could not be bothered.
Yeah.
And you can see that, and then initially when you're introduced to him, you're like, this guy's such a loser. You know, you're like, what is wrong with him?
Despite that scene being really hot.
I mean, yes, he is.
He gets ready for the morning. I was just like,
while he's smoking. Wow. Brushing his teeth and
smoking. Oh, David Harbour.
But yeah, like when you're first introduced
in love with him since then.
When you're first introduced to him, he seems very loser-like.
Yeah.
But we slowly get to understand
not
what
just that loser-like, but just not very interested in doing his job.
Yeah.
You know, even when he comes to the station in the morning, he's very like dismissive of like what Callahan and Powell are saying, and even Flo is like, you know, Joyce Byers is in your office, and like
he's like, yeah, whatever.
He's like, mornings are for coffee and contemplation. Flo, mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Not an actual case.
Not an actual case, but you know, when he sees her there and he sees that she's distressed, that's when he's like, okay, you know. But even then, he's very like, oh, you know, his clothes, what's wrong with his clothes? Like, people make fun of Will for his clothes. He's like, oh, what's wrong with that? And like, you know, all this stuff.
He's very unaware of things like that. Yeah.
Of like what is happening.
You can tell he's sort of removed from society.
Very removed from society. Yeah. Even like people talk about him and he doesn't really care, but you know, they have like assumptions about him, but you slowly find out that, you know, he was this big city cop, was married, had a kid named Sarah, and then the tragedy of her developing cancer and then losing her after a very hard battle. And that's what hardens him and makes him who he is now. And, you know, he's since divorced and wife is remarried and ex-wife, sorry. And so he's very much isolated by
himself.
Depressed.
He is in depression actively.
So, you know, you understand that he's not, you kind of are like, okay, well, is he a reliable source to find Will? Like, you kind of don't trust him. But then when he himself discovers, you know, as we said, discovers the body, and
it locks in.
It locks in for him. He starts investigating. Yeah. You know, he's going after these guys who he keeps seeing like around who are possibly connected to whatever this thing is at that lab. Yeah. And he just kicks into high gear and he knows that if he doesn't do this, it's like he can't have another child. Yeah. You know,
he knows
lost.
The pain of he knows the pain of a child being lost. Like, yes, his daughter was not kidnapped or she didn't go missing, but he knows what it is to lose a child. Yeah. And we sort of get an idea that him and Joyce have had a friendship since they were young. Yeah. So he knows who Joyce is and he really does feel for her. Yeah. He has that empathy for what she is going through when a lot of people don't. Yeah. Because Joyce is not, you know, one of the community. She is low income. She is kind
of on the outside too.
She is on the outside as well. She is low socioeconomic. She's a single mother. Yeah. People kind of look down upon her and her kids. You know, she's not in a high flying job. They're kind of on that same level. They're both sort of outcasts. Yeah. Will is an outcast. Jonathan, her other son, is a bit of an outcast as well. Yeah. So really, they're all these misfits that are going through that. Yeah. And that's what Hopper kind of is a great little counterbalance for someone like Joyce. Yeah. But when it comes to the kids, my favorite group is like the teenagers. And when they start forming.
The teenagers don't actually become my favorite group until like season 3.
True.
Because to be quite honest, so now Mike has an older sister, Nancy, who is dating the captain of the basketball team. And you know, I don't even know if Steve plays football, but anyway.
No, I think he's basketball.
He's basketball, right? Yeah, he's basketball. Captain of the basketball team, very popular, dating Steve Harrington, but there's a will they won't they sort of thing happening between her and Jonathan, who is Will's older brother. But like, I never cared about that. Like, that was never interesting to me in season 1 and also in season 2 before they finally get together. You know, what's more intriguing is is the kids for me, at least in the first season. The back and forth was never something I was interested in. But, you know, Nancy is an interesting character because you see her evolution throughout the series. But at the start, she's very much trying to get into the popular crowd and, you know, because she's dating the popular guy and, you know, trying to mold herself into something that she necessarily isn't. But, you know, in high school, you kind of just want to go with the flow and, you know, make something of yourself so that you're not one of the losers.
I think Nancy is my absolute favorite character of the show. And she has definitely evolved. And season 1, she's very much trying to find her place. Yeah. Because she is the good girl. She is the smart girl. She is the one that always does the right thing. Yeah. But now she's rebelling a little bit. Yeah. She's, you know, going out with the basketball team captain. And he's not necessarily hanging out with the best people either. Yeah,
we don't like Tommy H and Carol.
We do not like those. So Nancy is sort of trying to find that place because she's growing up. Yeah, you know, and she likes this boy, and she likes. Actually, this is the thing. I don't necessarily think that she likes Steve. I think she likes what Steve represents.
Yes.
He represents popularity.
It's very evident in season 2, but we will get
absolutely
there. Yeah.
But, you know, he represents popularity, and she is at this point she's being ambitious. Yeah. Right? And there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. She's just trying something new for herself. Yeah. And I really like that about her.
But her best friend Barb has problems.
Oh, yes. And we're going to come to her best friend now. Because that is part of the mystery. And that's how Nancy gets involved. Because Bob sort of is looking at Nancy and going, you've changed. Yeah. This is not good.
This is not you.
This is not you. She kind of shames her for wanting to be part of a group where, you know, she is part of this popular group. And okay, maybe these people are not the nicest people, and that's fair enough. But Bob sort of doesn't make Nancy feel good about it. Yeah. And that's where the problem is. Yeah. But essentially Bob disappears as well. Yeah. Bob disappears and we see this monster coming and catching her. Yeah. She cuts her hand. She's sitting at the pool and
something grabs
her. We don't know what it is. Yeah. And that's sort of what pulls Nancy into the mystery. Yeah. Because she starts questioning and she starts thinking what has happened, where has Bob disappeared.
And that's basically the Nancy Jonathan meetup, the team up.
The interesting thing I find about this show is that there is barely any concern for Bob disappearing,
right?
It never clicked.
Apart from Nancy going like, Bob, you know,
it never clicked for me until I watched this rewatch.
Yeah. Like, even like when they don't know that she's gone missing, they think maybe she's just hasn't come to school or something, and like the mum calls and she's like, will you have her call me back? Like all this stuff, like
including the parents.
Mom, you should, like in season 2 it's fine because they're actually like trying to find her, but they don't know that she's dead already in the Upside Down, right? They don't know where she is. But like
no police has been called, nothing.
No, well, they are looking for Barbara's car, and like whatever. It's gone, like, you know, they find it at the bus station or whatever.
It's so lackluster.
She skipped town, so you know, investigation over, and it's like, well, no,
it's so silly. And just that just is so shocking.
But look, this whole thing is that it's the definition of that line from the 80s that became really popular. It was like, it's 5 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
But you know what? That Bob thing,
and that's also Karen Wheeler.
Yeah. No, but the Bob thing that reminds me of, you know, I watch a lot of true crime stuff. Yeah. And this is so...
Yeah, same.
It's actually on point.
Yeah.
So yes, I criticize it from a modern eye. Yeah. But it is so on point because many girls... For that time. So many girls in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s even, 90s, they disappeared and the police did nothing for them. Yeah. Unless the parents really kicked up a stink. And even then, a lot of times it would just kind of be passed off as like, oh, you know, she's skipped town. She's disappeared.
She's gone off. She's run away. Or,
she's run away. And it's just kind of, that's it. Yeah. So in that sense, I think they've stuck to something quite like realistic.
That. Yeah.
Of course. And then we get, you know, Nancy and Jonathan sort of start partnering up because Jonathan's involved, with the whole Will situation. But the interesting thing that we see here is the now dynamic between Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve. And this is quite... in season 1, it's quite awful.
It's quite awful and problematic.
It's quite awful and problematic because both the boys, Jonathan and Steve, who I like both of them now.
Well, you know who I prefer. But
I mean, of course, I prefer Steve as well. But I like both the boys.
Yeah.
In season 1, though, you are not going to like them.
No.
Because they both do something really egregious.
Yeah.
Jonathan is a photographer.
Yeah.
He's an avid photographer.
Yeah.
And he decides to spy on Steve and his friends, including Nancy and Bob, when he is sort of investigating the whole Will thing. And he follows them, he sees them by the pool, and he starts taking pictures of them hiding in a bush.
Yep.
And that's, okay, creepy, but not fully bad.
Yeah.
But the bad thing is he sees Nancy in the window.
Undressing.
She's undressing. Because they've all jumped into the pool. She goes upstairs. She's undressing. And he takes a picture of her.
Yep.
And in the original cut, they had kept that scene.
Before we get to that. Actually, no, continue with that. But then
So in the original cut, that scene was there and people objected to it. Which now, if you go and watch it, it's been removed. But
that specific bit.
That specific bit, him taking pictures of her at the window.
Yeah.
But the picture has not been deleted.
Yeah, the picture's not been deleted.
So we get to see the picture.
And the funniest thing is, and this is what gets me about Jonathan, he goes to the school darkroom and develops them.
He's an idiot.
And the student walks in and sees them there, and he's like, oh crap, and starts taking them down. So you know that what you did is a bad thing.
Is wrong, yeah. Yeah.
You know it.
Yep.
So when Steve breaks the camera, rips up the photos and breaks the camera, he's not in the wrong.
No, he's not.
He's protecting his girlfriend.
He's not wrong. In that instance, Steve did the right thing.
Steve did the right thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Jonathan was being a creep. Steve did the right thing.
Yeah.
However, Steve reacts because Nancy's kind of pairing off with Jonathan, not in a romantic sense. These two are now heavily into the mystery.
Yeah.
And they are fully investigating stuff going on. They've discovered the Demogorgons, which are these monster-like things that are attracted to blood. There's gateways.
Yeah.
And stuff is going on.
There's a gate in the tree. There's a gate back at the lab.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Nancy and Jonathan are very much in that.
Yeah.
Steve thinks that there's something going on between them.
Yeah.
And he reacts really badly. Basically, his friend writes something really derogatory about Nancy.
So basically, All the Right Moves is playing at the cinema. And under All the Right Moves, he writes starring Nancy...
It's a horrible one. Yeah.
It's a bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And that, okay, Steve didn't do it himself, but he was standing there while it was done.
Yeah.
He mocks Nancy when she comes running and she's like, what have you done? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
He laughs in her face.
Yeah.
And he's really nasty.
Well, he kind of says, I was worried about you, but you weren't, like, you didn't care.
Yeah, buddy.
But
no.
not a good look, Steve.
Not a good look.
Not a good look. Not a good look.
Not a good look,
and
man.
then, him and Jonathan have that whole punch on.
Yeah, and that, both of them are problematic.
But then he also makes up for it.
Oh, yeah.
By, the first act is to remove the writing from the billboard.
And he does that. He feels remorse.
I still don't think Jonathan ever makes up for the photo.
Well, they do talk about it.
I mean, I guess so.
And he apologizes, I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember.
So.
Just trying to find.
I'm trying to figure out whether he did or not.
I'm trying to find an excuse not to like Jonathan.
No,
but anyway,
I don't know. I think he does, but I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have to go and rewatch that again.
Look, they're both very terrible acts. The boys are not great in this.
And I would not have I don't have an issue as much with this because
they're teenagers.
They're teenagers at this point. Yes, it's a horrible thing.
If they were men in their 20s, I'd be like, you're both awful, get lost.
If this had happened and then we never see them again, I would forever hate Jonathan and Steve.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But we get to see them in season 2, season 3, season 4, and we see what they do.
And who they
have more than made up for.
Become as men, yeah.
Yeah, made up for their mistakes as teenagers. So, and this is not a boys will be boys thing.
Yeah.
I think this is, they were both awful and horrible.
Yeah.
What they did. So putting it out there.
Yeah.
But they did redeem themselves, I feel.
Yes, they did.
And I think it was nice to see that.
Steve redeems himself in a very big way.
Oh, yes.
By coming to apologize. But then, gets confronted by a
Demogorgon. Yep.
And he is told to leave. And he does. But then he sees flickering lights.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back.
So can we, let's put a pin in there.
Yeah.
Let's go back to
talk about
the mechanics of the story. Because one of the things that I remember I was reading somewhere, I think it was like 2017. 2016 is when it came out. It became really big, but people were still watching it in 2017. Like I watched it in 2017.
Yeah.
And I got really into it. And there was a lot of this discussion of how convoluted the plot was. I didn't think that it was convoluted. I in fact thought the plot was
it's pretty straightforward.
It's straightforward, but like the mechanics of it, like with the whole upside down thing, people were a bit confused.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was a bit confused as well, but I think that's the charm of this.
Yeah. Now look, that's probably because people didn't think it was going to go much further because as we have now known over the years and the Duffers talking about it, that this was originally meant to be an anthology show. It was meant to be just like Hawkins, Indiana being like this one season. And then they were just going to move on and do like a different kind of story for like a second season.
Kind of like an unsolved mystery.
An unsolved
sort of
mystery
thing,
sort of deal. But, when it started gaining its popularity and, Netflix was like, oh, I think we've got something here. Then that was when it, they decided to expand Hawkins.
When did we find out that we were getting a season 2? Did we find out initially or we had to wait?
I can't remember.
Because I have a feeling
we didn't find out until after the very, serotonin boost of David Harbour's speech at the SAG Awards when they won Ensemble Cast.
Yes.
Which lives forever in my head, rent-free.
So I think that might be an issue, the issue, because a lot of people were like, well, you've left us at this point where we haven't understood how this world has been created, why this world was created, what is the reason why these creatures are popping up and coming out and interacting with this world. Why are they taking people away from our world?
Yeah, season 2 came out a little bit later in 2017, because they'd filmed majority of it, and then they filmed it, and then came out at the end of I think it was end of 2017. I want to say, because then the third season wasn't until 2019. Yeah, and so there was a bit of a gap, but not very big. It wasn't really announced that it was on its way. So I think maybe that's why people didn't really understand what it was and was meant to be. Yeah. And so then when it became clear that they were coming back, and then trailers came out and all this stuff, I think that's when people were like, okay, it's continuing. We can invest. We can fall in love with these characters. Yeah.
One of the things that I really fell in love with the story was the mechanics of the story. Yeah. It's so mysterious and it really sucks you in as an audience member, and you go, I don't understand everything that's happening, but I'm super invested. Like I really, really want to know why this is happening. Yeah. So I'm going to stick with it. Yeah. I know people in my workplace who did not stick with it because it just got too complicated for them. Right. And I was like, you need to go back and watch it because it was good. It makes sense once you continue watching. Yeah. But I think even though, even if they had left it at that season, yes, it would have been a bit confusing, but I think it would have fit with the overall theme, which is like this unsolved mystery kind of thing where we will never know why this happened. Yeah. Not everything has to be explained and tied up in a neat bow. But I think coming back to characters and coming back to favorite moments, if you were to think of season 1, what was the moment that really locked you in and went, I'm a fan?
That completely I was in? Yeah. I think it's Joyce with the lights. And a lot of people will say that. And maybe it's a cliche answer, but it really is, because
I agree.
Before that, there wasn't really anything that I was I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I was starting to get invested, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're all going through this horrible thing, and you know, it's starting to tug at the heartstrings, but it's not until she's like, you know, blink once for yes, twice for no, and she's trying to like talk to these lights, and she sounds like an insane person.
Looks insane and sounds insane.
But then like the light just grows.
And that moment's amazing.
And she's just like, my son is alive. Like he just is. I believe it. I feel it. I know he's here.
Yeah.
And it just, I remember just like having goosebumps all over me when that happened. And it was just so powerful. And honestly, I was just like, oh, this is good storytelling. Yeah,
it was very good. It was very good.
And visual storytelling too.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my God, the visuals of this show.
I think the visuals is what kills it with this show. It is so well done. Like the upside down version of Hawkins is so creepy.
Which we don't really see a whole lot of in season 1.
But we see like bits
see it when, you know, Joyce and Hopper go in to rescue Will. That's really when we kind of see it a bit more. Because before that, I think you only see it when Nancy slides in through the tree gate.
Yes.
Which was disgusting.
So gross.
Till this day, I'm just like, I cannot watch it because it's so goopy and I hate it. But yeah, you don't see the upside down quite a lot until that moment when the two go in.
Yeah.
But just, you know, like, it's just darkness and like all these vines and everything everywhere, and oh my God, it's just it you know, it's their world, but it's not. Yeah. You know, it's such an interesting concept.
And I really liked it was, obviously it would have been a bit of CGI and all of that stuff, but it felt quite practical as well. So I'm assuming they did a few.
There's quite a bit of practical. Even till now, there's quite a bit of practical stuff.
Quite a bit of practical stuff happening.
They build sets, which is
excellent.
Till this day, I think if you can do that, that's an amazing thing to do. So
and so visually it was just stunning. Like even just the way that the town is, like the distinct locations that we have. Like we have the Byers house, we have Mike's house, we have, you know, the school, we have the main, those are the three main settings,
and the
really.
Station,
and the station. Those are the three main settings that we have. The lab doesn't come in until
like the latter half of the season.
And we see a lot more of the lab in like season 2 and stuff. But yeah, like just the setting of these places, like it really gives you an idea of what this town looks like, what this town feels like. And I really enjoyed that. And for me, I think I agree. It was the lights bit that kind of, I would say I was sucked in a bit earlier. I really got sucked in at the point where the CIA sort of angle comes in. Where Hopper starts investigating. He goes to the library. And he starts looking at all the articles.
I mean, we can't just assume this is CIA. It's some kind of government.
Look, it's kind of based
CIA,
off of
NSA, whatever. Like how Hopper says he has no clue either.
It's based off of these CIA secret experiments that have been documented. That have happened, and they happened in like the 50s, 60s, and they probably still happen now. Who knows? But that's the moment I kind of got sucked in, because give me espionage and give me like deep cover government cover-ups. I am all in.
No, I was definitely all in with that, but like the emotional hook was what I was waiting for, and that is definitely
that bit was was very powerful.
Definitely it. And even like something that was really connecting for Hopper was when we see him on the telephone to his ex. It's such a small like blink and you'll miss it moment, but I just think he's really, and like, you know, the intrigue of like, what's this little blue band around his arm, his hand, and then, you know, you see it later, it's in Sarah's hair and like all this stuff. So like his visual history
is very interesting.
And very important.
And also like there's, you know, we really get to see what he's been through as a father. Through flashbacks. And one of the flashbacks is sort of in tandem with
him saving Will.
And him losing his daughter at the same time. Like that's just,
you know how
done
I was
so beautifully.
I was like, oh my God, David Harbour is like, oh my God, so hot in that scene where he's like getting ready for the day. That's when you like kind of like, oh my God, who is this guy? And you're getting intrigued by him, but you genuinely do not fall in love with this character until that moment.
I agree.
Like, that's when you're like, oh, okay, Hopper is
something special. He's special.
And he will continue to be special for everybody in this town.
Because
like, he is everybody's, for lack of a better word, savior, really. Yeah. Like, he is the one who protects everybody. He is the town's
He's the protector.
Yeah.
And you're going to
see Steve become that
up until that point, we don't really, as you said, trust Hopper.
Yeah.
Because he has kind of sold the kids out and gone, yeah, look, you give me the information and the kids are here at the school.
That's where they are.
And it's like, what have you just done,
What did
dude?
you do?
What did you do?
Like, wait, what? But then he saves Will, and like, but you understand even at the end because why he does that. It's because they all then need to stay quiet, like, because that's what season 2 is. Like, they are not allowed to talk about this thing.
Yeah, he understands how big this is,
what this is, and what the implications of this thing in their town is.
And as you said, you know, that's the moment that you really see, because it's intercut with him losing Sarah, his daughter, and him saving Will, and so that really cements who he is as a character in that moment. Yeah. And the other character that really cements himself for me and for you at the same time is Steve Harrington.
Steve Harrington.
Like, there are so many, and this is where, in a minute, what I was going to say was, like, there's so much foreshadowing in this season, because even though this was originally made as just a single season, it's obviously continued. Yeah. So now that we've watched season 2, 3, 4, we know what's happened. We know kind of, you know,
we know where we're going. Yeah,
where we're going. When you rewatch season 1, you can really pinpoint the moments that each of these characters does something, says something that's going to lead to some big moments later on. Yeah. And Steve is one of those people. Because after Steve has been an ass, essentially, he comes to apologize. Yeah. And he comes to the Byers household and he's like, what is going on?
Because there's like lights
holes everywhere. There's lights everywhere.
Lights flickering.
And Nancy and Jonathan have got shotguns and like...
and a baseball bat that has nails
in it. There's like bear traps on the floor. Like, he's freaked out.
He's like, who are these crazy people?
What is going on here? Like... I am just a fancy boy with fancy hair.
Yeah, you don't blame him for running in the first place. You really don't.
And he runs away. Oh, rather, I mean, he's reluctant because he kind of wants to save Nancy.
But Nancy tells him to leave.
Nancy's like, get out of here. You can't handle this. Yeah. And he leaves. Yeah. And then he kind of hesitates and he looks back at the building and he sees the lights flashing. And he just goes, I just have to go back in. Yeah. And he runs back inside. Yeah. And he jumps straight into the action.
He picks up that baseball bat with the spikes in it. And he strikes that Demogorgon once, twice. And he's leading it towards the bear trap. And then he spins the baseball bat and whacks it. And then it gets caught in the trap. And he picks up... No. And then Jonathan lights it on fire. But oh my gosh.
That partnership?
It's so good. It's so good.
Smoking.
But that's really
loved it.
Like... That's it for Steve. Like, that's... And so this is the thing. Steve was not meant to do that. It was meant to be Lonnie, who is Jonathan and Will's dad.
Yeah. Who's a bit of a deadbeat.
Who was a bit of a deadbeat. And we see him throughout, you know, the season. We haven't mentioned him that much here.
He comes in and out. He's not that important.
He's not that important. No. We don't much care for Lonnie. But it was meant to be him. But it went to Steve because... The Duffers were originally like, oh, we're going to kill him off. Like, he's the stupid boyfriend.
Jeez.
But then they were like, wait, hold on. There could be something here. And they made the decision to do that.
Oh, and the best decision ever.
Best decision to keep Steve Harrington alive. And they better keep him alive.
They better keep him alive still.
Until the very end. He better survive. But anyway, I'm projecting.
Well, in that scene, there's 2 people who lock in. Yeah. Steve and Nancy. Right? Jonathan, not so much yet. I feel like Jonathan doesn't lock in until probably season 2. Yeah. Right?
Jonathan's main focus is to get Will.
Yeah, Jonathan's his focus, he is grieving. He is like, I need to find my brother. I need to take care of my mother. Yeah. He is in that mode. Yeah. Nancy is kick ass. She will grab a gun and she will shoot you.
Yeah.
She will do what needs to be done. And we see that. Like, she is like Ripley.
Yeah. Especially in season 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, no, season 4.
Season 4.
Yeah.
And you see that here.
Yeah.
Right? You see that here.
This is the beginnings of it. Yeah.
This is the start of it. And so for both Nancy and Steve, there's this amazing foreshadowing in that scene because you see what they are going to become.
And with her, it starts as something as small as like her picking up a rock and breaking the lock on the school.
Exactly,
thing.
yeah.
And Mike's just looking at her like, what? Like,
what is wrong with you?
Because up until now, we've seen them like at the dinner table or the breakfast table,
just
like
bickering,
arguing and bickering and like being the annoying brother.
Yeah.
And the older sister dynamic and all this stuff. And so him seeing that, I was like, who are you? And what have you done with my sister?
Yeah.
And, you know, she evolves further on from that. And in this scene and then even going forward.
Yeah, so both Nancy and Steve, they're honestly two of my favorite. I like Jonathan as well. I know you're not a Jonathan fan.
I'm not a Jonathan person. I don't know. I like him. He's got good moments, but I'm not like attached to him.
I think the other bit of foreshadowing we get is the relationship between Elle and Joyce, which is really lovely.
That's another really good
to
dynamic,
see. Yeah. Like, we don't see it as much in season 1, obviously, because Joyce has just met Elle.
Yeah.
And but
even then, her instinct to be
motherly,
maternal and motherly to her, like when she's about to go into the bathtub, where she's like, you know, this is an amazing thing you're doing to find my boy. Like, I just want you to know that I appreciate that.
Yeah.
She's like, but I'm going to be here for you. And I'm going to
because
help
essentially
you and
she's using Elle as well.
I'm going to protect you. But you see, like, even when Elle is like struggling in the water,
she's
she
there.
calms her down.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. I'm here. It's okay. Which, if she is so single-minded about Will, she really didn't have to do. She could have just been like, find my son, you know? But it's within her to
she's concerned for a child.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing. And you can see Elle feel that trust towards Joyce as well, to trust her that she's vulnerable in that tub way. So Elle basically has to... So one of the ways that her powers work is that she is essentially psychic. Would we say?
Yeah. Telekinetic. Psychic,
and
kind of
one of the ways that she can, you know, manipulate things on the other side and find people and all that is with sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
And she is in that very vulnerable moment where she's lying there floating looking for Will.
Yeah.
And she trusts Joyce to take care of her. And also
trusts Hopper because, like, you know, Hopper's on one side, Joyce is on one side. She's holding both of their hands at one point. And again, that's where you see them. This is like we didn't know it at the time. No one really knew, but this is like the beginnings of their family, you know, like of what they will probably be in season 5.
And also, like, she's looking for Will, who now she considers her brother.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that building of that. Yeah. Building of that found family.
Yeah.
And really, if Elle had not been there, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So I think all of that really they've set it up really well.
Yeah.
Even though they, you know, originally weren't planning on doing it, it really fits very well overall with the story.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this magic. Yeah. I think that's what makes this show amazing.
Yeah. And the kids are amazing. Like, we've got Mike, who is very much the leader of the little group. Lucas is kind of I mean, we know that kids have imagination, but if you have to pick the skeptic of the children, it's probably Lucas. Rightly so, because
you need one.
You need one, and he's a smart kid. But then we've got Dustin, who is like, again, one of my favorites. I love Dustin.
So
Dustin is like, of the kids, Dustin's my favorite. Just because he's smart and he's like all these references and like, but he's a little bit vulnerable too, because
he's vulnerable, but he also seems a bit mature.
Yeah.
Because I feel,
but vulnerable in the sense that, like, you know, he knows he's, even within this group, he's a bit of an outsider. Like I said, he's like, I know, I showed up in the 4th grade. It's okay.
Like, he's a bit of an outsider. Yeah. Again, he's single mother.
Yeah.
Whereas Lucas and Mike are a bit more traditional families. Yes. You know, middle class,
nuclear family. Yeah.
Nuclear families, a bit more secure in that sense. Whereas, you know, your Will and your Dustin are not that.
Yeah.
And it's very clear in those dynamics, and I think they've been very sensitive to show how that works.
Different families exist, but I mean, they are the best of friends.
Absolutely.
Even when they fight.
Absolutely. And for me, to be very honest, I love the kids. They're super cute. There's a lot of fun. They didn't lock in for me until season 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, because it's like, they're kids, you know?
Yeah.
They are the
You're a teacher. They're not going to lock in for you for a while.
Like, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But, like, I started really kind of getting into their storyline in season 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Season 1, it was still sort of more focused on the big picture mystery. Yeah. You know?
Whereas, like, the kids, the teens didn't lock in for me until, like, end of season 2, start of season 3, because even though I was a teenager watching, no, not a teenager, early adult watching this, like I said, the teenage dynamic in season 1 is not my favorite, but it changes and it becomes way better.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah.
So now with the ending of season 1, it ends with them obviously finding Will.
Yeah.
Elle disappears because she actually helps kill one of the Demogorgons
and disappears.
No one knows what happens to her.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas time. We see Will, Jonathan, and Nancy sitting having dinner. Not Nancy, sorry. Joyce sitting having dinner, and Will excuses himself. But no, before that, sorry, we see Hopper going to
take food from the station, and he takes it out to the woods and he puts it in a little box. So we're led to believe that he knows where Elle is.
Even if not where, he knows that she's alive.
That she's alive and she's around. She's somewhere.
And clearly that's a thing that he does often.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
And, so then at that Christmas dinner, we see Will. He excuses himself and he goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we see him sort of freeze and he gets a flash of the upside down.
Yeah.
And then he throws up like this little bug.
Future D'Artagnan.
This little bug thing that goes down the...
Slug, yeah.
Yeah, this goes down the sink, which is going to come into play in season 2.
Yeah.
And so we know that things are not right.
No.
Something is way bigger.
Something is coming.
And something big is coming.
And it's hungry for blood, as the opening of the show says.
Oh.
So foreshadowing.
So that was season 1.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to rewatch it.
Yeah. And we've rewatched it several times.
Yeah.
But, you know, in lead up to this final season, it's so many things become clear as you're, you know, watching it to analyze, to have in your mind before the new season. Yeah, just like in terms of storyline, you know, we learn later on that, you know, it's the Upside Down's locked in place, like it's frozen in time, and it really kind of, you understand why in this season, like in this rewatch, I was like, oh yeah, it's because it's the same day as Will going missing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they say that, but you don't really think it until you
don't realize it until you rewatch it. Yeah.
So the minute he's taken, it's frozen in time. So it's very interesting to like come back and look for those visual cues, and even something where he's like, you know, where the lights light up as RUN, run. Yeah. And like we've like going forward, seen Will screaming run in the trailer. So, you know, just all these little things that are connecting in my mind and will probably come into play, and it's going to be so scary. I mean, I think we've talked about like favorite characters and stuff, but was there someone that kind of surprised you when you were watching it, that you were like
the first time?
Yeah, I can't stand this person, and then like they changed? Or
not in season 1.
Yeah.
Not in I guess I would say Steve.
Yeah, I think Steve is really the one. It's not that I couldn't stand him at the start. I just couldn't get a read on him, you know?
Yeah, like I was like, is he the bad guy?
Like, is he the bad guy? Is he good? Like, what's happening?
But then when that whole thing happens with Nancy, I was like, oh, he's a jerk.
Yeah, like, I was like, oh, this is
he's gonna die.
Yeah,
he's gonna die. But then he just like, I was like, okay, this man can never die. Protect him forever.
Protect him forever. We protect Steve at all costs.
Yeah. What about you? Did anything like surprise you?
Surprise? I don't know. What's surprising is that with every rewatch, I kind of don't like Bob anymore. I don't know why. I don't know just feel like she's not. I always thought like, oh, you know, it was just because she's so insecure about herself. But she's pretty confident in herself, I gotta say. But she kind of is not very
down Nancy quite a bit.
Nancy quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm seeing her in a different light these days.
Yeah,
you know, because we all got carried away with Barb and the internet meme of like justice for Barb when she died, like that first season, and like even at the Emmys there was this whole justice for Barb thing. And yeah, so I don't know how I feel about her.
One of the things. Anymore. So okay, so this is the thing. Now that we've watched season 1, 2, 3, 4, would you say season 1 is your favorite?
Yeah. I would put it as season 1, season 4, season 3, and then season 2.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I will say one thing. Like, season 1, of course, you know, by default it sets up the whole world. So it's very, very good. But it's not my favorite.
Yeah, okay.
It's not my favorite. Like, if I was to kind of go, oh, I feel like watching Stranger Things, I wouldn't put season 1.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I probably wouldn't put it from the start either. I just mean, like, in terms of the story visually, and then also, like, the intricacies of the story. I think season 1 is, like,
does it very well.
Like,
yes.
It does it the best. Like, I don't think there's quite a lot in season 3 and season 4 that I look back on now and I'm like, I would change that. And I would change that. And I would change that. And, like, season 1, I don't really have that at all.
Yeah, season 1, I think, you know? Like, I wouldn't change anything.
But in terms of, like, my absolute, like, lives in my heart, I love it so much. I think it's season 3 because...
Yes.
I was when that came out, I was in the screenwriting degree and all this stuff. And, you know, it was at the height of me trying to figure out what I'm going to do next with everything. And like, this is the show that I also credit, not just Supernatural, because that's a lifelong love, but like in terms of really wanting to do this as a career and like wanting to get into this, I credit Stranger Things for that. Like season 1, like when they won at the SAG Awards and David Harbour was making that incredible speech, I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. Like, this is what I have to do. Like, it just, everything clicked so much for me. And then, you know, the very next year after that, I started. So because I had applied at the end of 2017 and I got in. So that's why season 1 is very special to me, because it's the thing that got me to do what I want to do. But in terms of like nostalgia and just being so locked in and like all of us watching it at the same time and, you know, discussing it and everything, season 3 is like my love. Yeah. But and then actually I would put it as season 3 and season 4 is like in my heart, because even season 4.
Oh, I love season 4.
Was again at a time where, you know, we were in the pandemic and everything, but, you know, the friends that I have made because of Supernatural, we were all watching it together. Yeah. And so
I think it's been great to kind of go back and revisit season 1. I feel like we haven't done much of an analysis as such. We've kind of just gone through what we think and what we like.
It's more like a retrospective.
Yeah, like, but I think like season 2 is when the analysis really starts. Yeah. Because that's when you really start breaking down a lot of stuff. Yeah.
And that's when we get more information about everything.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
As Will's going through the absolute worst thing that he
and the story becomes more complex as well.
More complex, and we get more characters and more players on the board. And yeah.
If you have enjoyed this, please follow us and word of mouth, share this podcast with other people and tell other people to listen to us. And follow us on our socials. Yes. Now we are on TikTok.
Yes. But mostly follow us on Instagram. And why?
Because TikTok doesn't allow us to link anything yet because we don't have enough followers.
Which is dumb.
Yeah. TikTok, I'm the one who's mostly doing the videos. Yikes. And we're kind of like just doing short bits of what we're
talking. You may see me. I don't know.
I'm trying to convince Rosh to get on to TikTok.
I don't know. I'm scared.
She's scared. I don't know why though.
Because you keep saying like people are mean.
I'm literally in my pajamas. No one's even commenting. So calm down. Relax.
I don't want to be.
I think you need to be bigger for people to be mean to you.
I don't want to be hated.
We are not hated. We don't even. As far as people are concerned, we don't even exist. No, I think being hated is a very far away thing.
But we would like to exist. We would like to be in your lives.
And we are going to start our YouTube. All of the episodes that we've done so far are going to end up on YouTube as videos. But it is going to be they're obviously going to be weeks later.
Yeah.
But we will catch up.
Yeah.
We will catch up because, it is...
it takes time.
It takes time.
It takes time to
editing
create.
is hard.
Yes.
Podcast editing is not that hard.
No.
So,
But yeah, we are on the socials. Follow us at TikTok. Follow us
please.
at Instagram. We're not on the Bird app, so no need to worry about that.
No. But mostly follow us here, please. And if you can, please leave a review.
Please leave a review. Well. Follow. Yes. Leave a star rating. All that stuff.
And in the meantime,
like and subscribe.
Well, if this is on YouTube, then like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Smash that little bell icon.
Absolutely. And in the meantime,
we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.